Hi guys, it's Katie with String Expert. Today we're going to work on exercise number 10. Now, this is a challenging exercise. It seems very simple and very straightforward, but the difficulty is being able to play in tune, in time, with the right bowing. So let's go through slowly and learn the notes. Now, what I think is the biggest challenge is the switch between the D natural on the A string and the G sharp on the D string and also the G sharp on the G string. So you're constantly switching between like a regular third finger on the A string to a high third finger on the D and the G string, and then a low first finger on the G string. So let's go through the notes very slowly and carefully, and let's just listen and try and make sure that we're in tune. Now, if you're careful and you get each note in tune, you're going to be in good shape. But if you're anything like me, sometimes I just get so tired when I'm practicing and I forget to be a dynamic listener and really pay attention to each and every single note. So I have a solution. Grab your cell phone and download a tuner app or get a little tuner. So then anytime that you play hard sections like this where just your whole focus is on being in tune, you can practice with the tuner and make sure that you're in tune. So go ahead, pull out your tuner, set it up on your music stand, and let's practice through this again. Just being very careful and mindful to make sure that each and every note is in tune. Spend a lot of time just going through each note with the tuner because it is so crucial and so important. That's why I took the time to play through the whole piece slowly, because there's so many intonation downfalls and intonation spots where things need to be in tune, and a lot of times they're not just because we miss it. So be very, very careful of that. Okay. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on playing it faster. So you should not do this step until you feel like you can really play it slowly and perfectly in tune like I just did. Okay, so we're going to practice this measure by measure. I'm just going to work on this with the first measure with you, but you can do this through the whole piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the first two notes long and the second two notes short and fast. The concept is that allows our brain to sort of think through the note and make sure that we understand it, and then by playing the fast note, it allows our brain to learn the notes fast and efficiently. So let's try that. So we're going to play the first 2 notes long and the first 2 notes short for the first measure. Now this gives you a chance to sort of contemplate things, like for example, I might have played the G sharp just a little bit out of tune. So let's go ahead and go back through and do it again and make sure that it's perfect. And one more time. Now let's go through and let's do the opposite. We're going to do the first 2 notes short and the second 2 notes long. So what we're doing is we trained our brain to practice the first 2 notes long and expressively, and then the second 2 notes we practice going faster. So now we need to practice the long notes going faster and the shorter notes longer to give our brain sort of a break. What this does is it really helps our brain sort of pay attention and learn the notes quickly and efficiently. So let's try that. So short, short, long, long. And the reason why I break it up into measures is because you don't want to do this through the whole piece. It's too much to learn. So you do each measure individually. That way you have a good solid amount of practice, and make sure that you don't skip any. Do every single measure like this. It takes a long time, but in the end you'll be able to play this perfectly. Okay, so let's practice that again. Short, short, long, long. And one more time. Now, when you play it regularly, you should be able to play it much faster. Let's try it. Okay, now the next thing that you can do to practice this is in the same time that you're practicing the rhythms, you can also work on practicing the notes backwards. So I don't know why this works, but it's a trick that I learned in high school, and it just works really, really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the last note in the measure and we're going to play each note individually backwards till we get to the first measure. Let's try it. So instead of starting at the G, we're going to start at the D, the last note in the measure. Let's go forwards. And then backwards. Okay, once you have that and you've practiced every single measure like this, make sure you do all of them. This is going to make you play faster, more in tune, in a shorter, more efficient period of time. If you just simply go through and try and play through the piece 10 or 20 times, you're just not going to have the same amount of results as if you carefully go through each measure. Think about football players. They don't practice the entire game. They practice small little scenarios in order to play the entire game well. Same thing with musicians. We practice each little individual section and then we put it all together. Okay, now the next part is the bowing. Bowing is pretty straightforward, but what's difficult about this piece is you can sound incredibly boring or incredibly interesting. So you want to add a lot of dynamics. So what I like to think about in this piece, and the way me as an artist wants to express it, is I think about it like waves. We sort of go up, and then we roll back down, and then we roll up, and then we roll back down. And so I try and keep my dynamics and my interesting sound in that same flavor. Now, I know that this is just an exercise, but exercises are so important because they lead to what you're going to be as a professional violinist. And typically the violinists who execute their exercises just as well as they do their pieces make much better musicians than the ones that don't. Okay, so let's just play through the whole piece. You can hear what I'm doing, and then you can make your own decisions as an artist as far as what dynamics and expression you would like to add to the piece. And again, thank you so much for watching. Check out my website, stringexpert.com, if you have any questions.